The message arrived without warning. In the Unified Command Center of Earth's Orbital Defense Station, Admiral James Reynolds stared at the holographic projection with disbelief. One by one, the symbols representing the Galactic Coalition fleet blinked out as their ships engaged jump drives. "They're leaving," his executive officer, Commander Anna Wilson, whispered. "All of them?" Reynolds' jaw tightened. "Get me the Coalition Supreme Commander." Now, the face that appeared was alien. The scaled features of Admiral Thex contorted in what humans had learned to recognize as regret. "Admiral Reynolds, by decree of the Coalition Council, all Coalition forces are being withdrawn from Earth's defensive perimeter." "The Vex Armada is 3 days out," Reynolds said, his voice deadly calm. "You promised us support." "The Council has determined the threat exceeds acceptable casualty parameters. Earth is sacrificial." Thex's eyes lowered. "I am sorry, my friend." The transmission ended. Commander Wilson watched her superior carefully. In 20 years of service, she had never seen the iron-willed Reynolds appear shaken. "Orders, sir?" she asked. Reynolds looked around the command center at the faces of his staff, human faces that had just learned they stood alone against the most feared predatory species in the known galaxy. "Send the message to all Earth forces and colonial outposts," he said. "Coalition Code Alpha 9. Wilson paled. "Coalition Abandonment Protocol, and append this. Earth stands. Implement Hellfire." The Vex had conquered 17 worlds before turning their attention to Earth. Their strategy never varied. Overwhelming force, no negotiations, complete subjugation. Species either served or perished. The Coalition had formed specifically to counter their expansion, pooling technology and military resources from a dozen advanced civilizations. Humanity had been the newest member, still catching up technologically, but contributing their unique perspective and tenacity to the alliance. Their military leaders had often proposed more aggressive strategies, which the Coalition had consistently dismissed as too risky. Now those unheeded strategies would be Earth's only hope. In a hardened bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Eliza Morgan received the Alpha 9 code with a grim nod. Her team of scientists and engineers had spent 5 years developing Project Hellfire, a last-resort defensive system the Coalition had expressly forbidden. "They never thought we'd actually build it," she murmured, entering her authorization code. Across the globe, similar facilities powered up as the abandoned defenders of humanity activated what they had quietly prepared. The Coalition had rejected human proposals for weaponizing quantum entanglement as too destabilizing to spacetime. They had cited ethical concerns about human AI development. They had called human bioweapon research abhorrent. None of that mattered now. Captain Thomas Reed piloted his fighter toward the outer defense perimeter. Around him, Earth's modest fleet of warships formed a ring around the planet, a pitiful defense compared to the Vex Armada now visible on long-range scanners. "All units, this is Admiral Reynolds. You've all heard by now that our Coalition allies have withdrawn support." Reed watched morale indicators across the fleet plummet with the official confirmation. "What you don't know is that Earth has been preparing for this possibility since the day we joined the Coalition." Reynolds' voice carried a steel edge Reed had never heard before. "The Coalition believed our technological limitations made us dependent on their protection. They never understood that humans don't rely on superior technology. We rely on superior resolve." Around the fleet, weapon systems previously concealed from Coalition inspectors came online. Quantum disruptors, gravity lenses, neural resonance emitters, technologies the Coalition had banned, technologies humanity had developed in secret. They never understood that we weren't asking permission. We were offering them the courtesy of inclusion. A Vex commander, Growl, observed the human defenses with disdain. His massive dreadnought led a fleet of 500 ships, each capable of destroying a city. The human fleet was barely 50 vessels with primitive weapons technology. "The Coalition has abandoned them," his sensor officer reported. As expected, Growl flared his hunting crests. "Begin the approach. Standard subjugation protocol." "Commander, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the human vessels." Growl dismissed the concern with a gesture. "Irrelevant. Proceed." The battle lasted 11 hours. When it began, the Vex expected to break Earth's defenses within minutes. They did not expect the quantum fields that disabled their targeting systems. They did not expect the gravity weapons that crushed entire warships by manipulating spacetime itself. They did not expect the viral AI that infected their command networks and turned their own weapons against them. They certainly did not expect the human ships to ram their vessels at relativistic speeds when conventional weapons were depleted. By the time Growl ordered a retreat, more than half his fleet lay in ruins. The remainder limped away, hounded by small, agile human fighters that seemed utterly unconcerned with their own survival. 1 month later, a coalition diplomatic vessel approached Earth's orbit cautiously. Since the battle, all communication attempts had been met with silence. Supreme Counselor Nex, the highest authority in the coalition, requested permission to board the orbital defense station. After a long delay, permission was granted. Admiral Reynolds met him in a sparse conference room. The human appeared unchanged, except for the coldness in his eyes. "The Coalition Council sends its congratulations on your remarkable defense," Nex began. "We had no idea your technology had advanced." "Don't," Reynolds interrupted. "Don't pretend you came to compliment us." Nex's translator hesitated before conveying his next words. "The Vex have withdrawn from 3 other systems since their defeat here. They appear to be reconsidering their expansion. The Coalition believes the Coalition abandoned us to die." Reynolds' voice remained conversational, which somehow made it more chilling. "Now you're here because you're afraid of what we've become." Nex could not deny it. Earth's unexpected victory had transformed the galactic political landscape overnight. What other forbidden technologies did humans possess? What else had they concealed? "The Coalition proposes a renewed alliance," Nex said carefully, "with humanity taking a leadership role in military strategy." Reynolds studied the alien for a long moment. "Humanity will consider your proposal, but understand this. We will never again depend on allies who flee when the fight becomes difficult." As Nex departed the station, he observed the construction around Earth's orbit. New defense platforms, shipyards building vessels with technology the Coalition had never seen before. The Coalition had abandoned humanity in their hour of need, expecting a defenseless world to fall. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous, a species that answered betrayal with fire and fury and refused to lose.